Okay, welcome to office hours. I'm glad to have a good sized group this week right for the holidays. Hope everyone's having a good December without a lot of sickness. I am Emily, our VP of Customer Success here at ProLine, and today we're going to be walking through variables in ProLine, what they are, how they work, and where you can use them across the platform to personalize and automate communication. By the end of this session, you should feel comfortable finding variables, understanding how they behave, and using them confidently in workflows. In ProLine, when I'm talking about a variable, is a dynamic placeholder inside communication templates, things like emails, text messages, automated campaigns, and other templates. They allow you to personalize content based on the recipient's details, like project specific information or situational attributes. And they're essentially areas in your messaging where information changes automatically depending on the contact, project, or team member involved in the automation. So, probably the most common way to use a variable is someone's name, for example, or a project address, phone numbers, dates. Those are probably the most common that we see. And that putting these into messages just helps you save time, reduce manual errors, prevent typos, keep communication consistent um, and professional. Right. So the most common place to use a variable is going to be in a campaign. So let me open up my campaign and I'll share it with you. Okay, so here is my test account. I'm going to go over to the hamburger menu and campaigns. And let's see, I will go into my sales follow up folder. How about that? Edit my contingent roof repair follow up. Let's do this one. And I have an email listed here. So a variable, I can actually see all variables if I click on show variables right here. I can see all of my options. I can copy and paste from here by clicking. I have first name, last name, organization, phone number, phone display. There are examples here. So example formatting for phone display is going to have brackets. Phone number raw is just going to have the phone number listed out. Email, address, city, state, a user display, and so on. So I can even do the user's photo, which would be my photo if I had a photo in my ProLine CRM. And I could also enter in time and campaigns, email signature, so many options here. I would suggest really going through these and the project share URL. This is one of my favorite for sharing posts, especially after you've already sent a quote and it's been signed, or any invoices, payments collected. Sharing that project URL is really nice. Okay, so that's how you see all of your variables. In the body of this email, the first one that I have here is contact first name. So I'm sending an email to John. It's going to say, John, it was great meeting you. And taking a look at your roof. Uh, Another way, and then I have my email signature at the bottom there, which is entered in my settings, right? So another way to do a variable is to type in these brackets. Oh, that's not working for me. I'll be telling somebody about that, and it's probably something that I'm doing wrong. But technically, you're supposed to be able to type in that double bracket and your variable list pops up. Right now, I'm going to cancel this here. All right, so this isn't an email. You can still do variables in a text message. I'm in a campaign. You can do this in your templates and things like that as well, like your invoice templates, your quote templates. You can do variables in default invoice emails. Yeah, let's actually go to a quote template. Maybe this will be nicer to me. my quote templates, roof replacement, detailed pricing. And let's say that in my terms and conditions, I would like to include a variable. Well, let's see, actually. I think it might make more sense. In my intro, this is where you're going to use. So I have contact first name here, and I have my name at the bottom, or whatever user is sending this quote out. And then I have my company's name listed here. Obviously, if you have one company, you could just wipe that and let it say what it says. But if you have multiple locations or things like that, you may want to use company name in the brackets to make sure that your variables are listed. At the top of the page, you'll see a link for your variable list so that you can always come back here and include information, even a custom field. I have custom fields on contacts, so my custom fields are going to show here too. If there's some information that you like to send out all the time and it is something that you keep track of on the project itself, you're going to be able to include that in your messaging automatically without typing it in, which is really nice. Let me just take a look and see what questions we have so far. Okay, I don't have any questions so far, but I did want to mention that you can also use variables for dynamic placeholders used throughout ProLine. You can use them in Zapier and webhooks. So this is just for more advanced automations. So Zapier triggers using custom content fields and webhooks that pass variable data through payloads. Anytime content is being generated dynamically, variables are likely supported. This is something you can work with our support team or an account manager on if you have any questions about that specifically, because those are always company specific, process specific, how you want to use those. Again, use variables in campaigns, templates, invoices, quotes, tasks, integrations, settings. Context matters, but they save time and they reduce errors, and we are here to help. I'm still here for another 15 minutes, so I'm going to just check and see if I have Q&A, and if not, I guess we can hop off early today because this one was pretty simple, but happy to quickly run through it because I think it's easily forgotten that we have so many options for our variable list. Let me pull it up. Location, state, zip, our review, location specific review URL. That's always critical. You got to get those reviews in. You have Sumo Quote. You can link those into event information, reschedule links. Goodness, project cities. I have so many custom fields on my projects. It's got all of my project custom fields, formal dates. So this would be Wednesday, April 21st, 2021, just for example. And yeah, lots of project information. All right. Well, no Q&A today, but we'll get back to it next week on our last session before Christmas is upon us. I hope everyone has a really good rest of your week and a great weekend. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks so much.